All right, so you mentioned it. It's got to be a guy who might not win the press conference. It's got to be a guy. Let's do the unsexiest hires that could possibly do a great job at Indiana. Who would you like? Who would that be? I'm just curious because the way you said that, I have some ideas.
I do too.
And one of them, guys, is at my alma mater, and it wouldn't be sexy, but he would do a great job there.
Okay, so I don't disagree. I also don't know if he could get that job.
Well, no, hold on. If you look at the past few years, they make another run in the tournament. I don't know if he could get that job. That's the problem with the thinking at Indiana.
That's the problem. Exactly.
How old is
exactly what you just said.
How old is Brad now?
Ben McCollum could, but
that's who I was going to go with Ben McCollum. Hold on, I want to circle back on Brunell real quick. How old is he? 56.
So he's got, and he'll never do anything but coach. He keeps saying, I'm too old for this shit. He'll coach till he's in the 6 feet deep. He's 56.
He
can't get the job because the name isn't sexy enough, but he just made an Elite Eight. 2 years ago, they made a Sweet 16. The playing field is leveled. You see the kind of player he's getting now and how they're competing consistently. Beat Kentucky at home. And I would steer more towards Ben McCollum too.
Yes.
But the question I'm asking is like, you could go a lot of different directions. Quit pushing Scott Drew. Like, stop. Jeffrey Goodman, stop pushing Scott Drew.
He's not going to take it.
He wouldn't leave if Jesus himself asked him to. Like, he wouldn't leave. So, like, he's staying at Baylor. Stop pushing Scott. Bruce isn't going anywhere. He's got a nice place down there in Auburn. He's not going anywhere. Stop pushing those two names. Like, I think McCollum is a guy you have to look at, but I also think, like, McCollum fits Virginia incredibly well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who are the guys outside of Ben McCollum that you think makes sense? Chris Beard makes sense? Are you willing to do that?
I don't think that they can hire Chris Beard for obvious reasons. Although Chris Beard would be the absolute.
He's been completely cleared of all.
Okay, come on. Why?
No,
why?
No.
I mean,
I just thought. Well,
why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he? He's a Bob Knight guy.
No, I know. Look,
you think he's having a fun time in Oxford?
I think he does.
They had Bob Knight coaching their team.
I got two names for you guys.
Okay, you're probably right, Rob. Let's just go ahead and say it because you've disagreed with everything we've said. So go ahead. You got it, Rob.
I got two names. So Ben McCollum would probably be one of the first names on my list.
Yeah, we've already said that.
Jared Calhoun at Utah State. Guy's got some Midwest roots, right? He's doing a really good job at Utah State right now. Creative offensively. And the other guy, it's a little bit more off the radar. And I honestly don't even know if he would fit there because of how he kind of has been brought up in the basketball world. But Bucky McMillan, if you're going to play Bucky ball, right?
Bad fit. Why? Culturally, bad fit. He's not. He is a Southeast dude. He needs to be in the Southeast. I'm just telling you. It's about it. He won't get along. He won't get along there. I've been around guys like Bucky my entire life. Don't put him in Indiana where it's windy as hell and minus 30. It's not going to work.
Saying Brad takes Indiana and Bucky to Clemson.
I'm not saying no. But I'm just curious, like the other guys. Bucky McMillan won't fit up there. Bucky, I could see something. Bucky at Florida State, I could see that.
Wait a minute.
They're going to go with a different. They're going to go with a different mid-major coach that's winning a lot of games at Florida State. If I was going to make that decision for them,
that's right. But Miami's going to have to come back. Miami's going to have to fight for that same guy. Go ahead, Fanta.
Kentucky wins, you lose. Are you dumb or stupid? You just said Shaka is struggling at Marquette. He struggled at Texas too. Struggling at Marquette. They're one of the best programs in the country.
Who the hell said that?
They're off to their best start in the Big East since 2008-09. Indiana should get on their knees and beg for Shaka Smart. He ain't taking it. He's never leaving Marquette.
And he shouldn't take it. He shouldn't take it.
He tried a job like that. It ain't happening. Marquette's a better program than Indiana. Ooh. Are you shocked? Ooh, their operating budget's just as good. So don't talk to me about Shaka Smart struggling. Get out of here with that trash.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Your take on Bucky is interesting.
It's not going to be Scott Drew.
It's not Scott Drew. It's not going to be one of those big names. Scott Drew Bruce Pearl, Chris Beard, like those are going to be easy names to plug, but it's not going to be one of those guys. Like Scott said no to Kentucky and Louisville last year because he wants to be in Baylor and his family doesn't want to be that fishbowl, be the head coach of one of those basketball programs. It's just not what it is. I do want to provide.
Jeff loves him, so like he's helping him out with contract extensions. He's not going anywhere.
What
about Chris Jans? What about Chris Jans?
I actually don't hate it. I think you need to do a little bit more at Mississippi. Like keep winning at the level you've been winning so far, and that might actually be something that would make sense. He is a hell of a coach, man, and he wants to shoot threes and he wants to space the floor. And when you're at Indiana and you can get guys that can shoot, like just think about the guys that Indiana has missed on. Like, what if you had Liam McNeely there right now? You think that would change some things? Yeah. Put Liam McNeely next to Mackenzie Mbako. Like, what if he was there? That changes some things, right? I want to provide a little context here, and then we can kind of move on to SEC stuff. I keep seeing Micah Shrewsbury in the chat. He's a hell of a coach. I think you got to win more at Notre Dame before you get the Indiana. Like if you're sitting there,
he's a year too late. He's a couple years too late.
Yep.
He could have gotten it out of Penn State. I don't think he's getting it out of.
Yeah. The other interesting thing is like
maybe Signetti can get more money to coach basketball.
So Woodson's has 2 years guaranteed at $4 million a year. His buyout is $8 million. The contract stipulates it could be spread out over the next 8 years for $1 million a year.
That's nothing, relatively speaking, to what they're willing to pay up there.
Yeah, they paid Archie Miller a lump sum $10 million to go out and
shit. Fire me.
Yeah, right. I have no problem not working for that much money. And this comes directly from Goodman is that the guy that made the hire last time, it was not their AD, Scott Dolson. Scott Dolson was the guy that did go out and find Kurt Signetti and decide to make that hire. So I will be interested to see if a change does get made, who they will go after, because it's Indiana, man. They haven't been Indiana in a long time, but
we got to wait a minute. Get back to them. Wait, we got to address the elephant in the room. Wait,
that's the third time you said that today.
Say that about Dolson. What'd you say about the football program? The last hire?
So he did not. Dolson hiring Mike Woodson was not a Dolson decision. That came from other people with influence within the athletic department. Dolson was the guy that hired Signetti. That was his decision. That's
what about Dusty May? What about Dusty May?
He said no to Louisville because he doesn't want to he doesn't want to be a coach at a program where basketball is like front and center. He doesn't want to live in the fishbowl. That's part of why he's at Michigan instead of Louisville right now. So I don't know if India, like let's say if Woodson, they would have made a move on Woodson.
He's getting paid fishbowl money.
Yeah, but if they made a move on Woodson last year, I
talk about United Fishbowl. You can pay $5 million.
If you can get
people just be at this point, Doster. People they're just talking. People just out here just flapping lips.
Well, no,
that's all the hell that's going on. They're just talking. That's ridiculous. I don't want to live in Fishbowl. I'm only the head coach of Michigan. They're just talking.
Yeah, well, what I'm saying is if you can do all the stuff that
took 4 losses, all of a sudden he's in a fishbowl getting paid $5 million a year.
Yeah, all I'm saying is that that's part of why Dusty May right now is not at Louisville and why he is at Michigan. And if that opportunity came, like obviously he is an Indiana alum, so maybe that would have had a little bit more pull from him. But I don't think that it's a guarantee that he would have ended up being the head coach at Indiana had that job been open last year as he was looking.
It's still a big time job, though. Michigan's a big time job. Like, yeah, you're not Michigan football, but you're very much in the spotlight. I don't know, guys. Like so I don't think Dusty's going to go because I think Michigan gave him a shot. He owes it back to Michigan, but he's got the Indiana roots. They could throw a boatload at him. I also don't know if I'd want the Indiana job if I'm Dusty. It's going to come with a shoot ton of expectations. You've got Michigan going. I think Michigan's top 15 team in the country. Might be a hot take.
I think Michigan. This may or may not be a hot take. I think they're Final Four good. I think Michigan's Final Four good.
They could
stop turning the damn ball over.
I agree with that. We had one. This now might be a weekly topic because of how much attraction it's got, and I think our numbers are outstanding right now from what I can tell. Noah says, "What about Matt Painter?"
That would be awesome if they hired him. That would be so funny if they.
What if they just called? No, what if they called? Could you imagine Painter answering the phone, being like, "Do you guys really want to end the world? Like, do you really?" It's a no.
It would almost be as bad as going from Providence to Georgetown, both as a coach and a player.
Worse. Oh, it'd be worse. It'd be worse.
Both as a coach and a player.
Yeah, the Purdue fans.
Got a lot of Todd Goldens in here.
I would not hate that. There's a couple things that have to finish playing out for that to be able to be something that is possible. But
I think Chris Beard could be a real threat here.
If Chris Beard went to Indiana, Chris Beard would win national championships.
I agree.
Absolutely 100%. Chris Beard would win national championships.
Wow.
I feel comfortable saying. I think he went to a national championship game at Texas Tech. I think that he can do at Ole Miss what Bruce Pearl has done at Auburn. I think if he's there for 4 or 5 years, Ole Miss will be consistently a top 5 team, top 10 team in America, competing for SEC championships every single season and have one of the best home courts in the sport of college basketball. I think that he is so good at building up. We went down there for a Texas game and they had 12,000 people in Texas's in their home game on the opening night of the season, and they were going absolutely bonkers down there. Fanny, you were there for a game that you were there for the Creighton game, right? Like he had that thing in like a year and a half rolling. He'd win a national championship in Indiana. I feel very comfortable saying.